What's going on, everybody? It is Jacob here from the Batting Practice Podcast, bringing you the intro without Nosh. No up here, no down here, no to the side. It's just me and Andrew tonight, and we're bringing you a duo cast here. Gonna kind of bounce off of last week, talk a little bit more Sorare MLB. MLB? Games started this week. Hey, did you wake up for that? You still tired? I'm still adjusting my sleep schedule because I decided to actually get up and watch the games here myself. And have I recovered yet? No, it's fine. I live on the East Coast. I got a hot take coming up about the Tokyo series here in a sec.
Ooh.
But baseball's here. It's started. And yeah, it's been an exciting week so far. I've been watching a lot, not only spring training, but yes, the Tokyo series as well. But Andrew, first and foremost, I guess without Nash here, how's your week been? What's up?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I'm still wearing this from yesterday. I'm wearing a
Oof.
University of Wisconsin sweater.
Oof.
They lost last night in March Madness. When's Sorare March Madness? That would actually be really sick. Now that I feel like now that
NIL.
NIL is a thing, we could go really crazy with
Mm.
some college basketball. Although the Matrix would be so lopsided
Yeah.
with some of these matchups that you see. But yeah, big weekend of college basketball. And I think it's coming at a perfect time because I feel like now that was basketball week. Now my brain has transitioned to baseball week. Like it's opening day, coming up. I mean, for most of the teams, obviously we saw the Dodgers destroy the Cubs in Tokyo. I could have told you that coming. I was this close to pulling the trigger on a two-game parlay for the Dodgers to
Mm.
sweep the Cubs. And I don't know. It's funny if I would have bet it, the Cubs would have won a game. I
Yeah.
just know that. So all the Cubs haters out there, you're welcome. Cubs fans, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was a sick baseball game. I did watch a little bit of like I feel like the seventh through the ninth of every game. I was not awake before the seventh inning probably. But yeah, it was cool to see baseball.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I here living on the East Coast, the game started at 6:10 Eastern, which is not that bad. Um I remember waking up super early in college to watch World Cup games in
Mm,
Russia, and we were doing that for soccer a while back. And to me, it's obviously not even close to the same scale worldwide as the World Cup, but it felt kind of similar to me
mhm.
waking up and immediately having something to throw on the TV. And not only that, but it being professional baseball, and it's the real season too. It's not spring training. I kind of like it. I heard a lot of negative reaction, and I respect it. A lot of negative reactions saying first and foremost, like, how are people supposed to watch it here? Obviously, in Dodgerland, it's 3:10 in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are closer to Japan like a day behind. If you were to
right.
reverse the day, they're closer that way than they are on the same day, if that makes any sense at all. It probably doesn't. But long story short, if you cross the international date line going from California to Japan, it'd be a shorter ride than to go the way that you have to go in order to make all the time zones happen in order to watch the game. Just the way the sun works, you know? But I was up, I was watching, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, and I would do it again. Would I do it again for every game? No. But it's a nice little warm up. It's a nice little teaser. I will say, ever so slight bit of remorse for Cubs fans. If it was any other team, I'd have a little more remorse. But for the Cubs fans, you did lose two home games. And not only did you lose two home games, you did not win the games that you played in Japan. I'm saying like you lost them throughout the season. Like
That's
you
crazy.
you are now playing 79 games at home instead of 81. And for
Wow.
that, I feel bad. I feel bad because it sucks to lose two home games like that and then not only that, but to actually lose the games themselves too. Yeah. Do I have some remorse for Cubs fans? Absolutely. I do. I can't say that I don't. But I you can't really make it later in Japan. If you made it an hour later, you're getting
No.
pretty late there. And it's a great attraction for the sport. Obviously, you got to send the Dodgers there with their team, but every single person in the stands was wearing an Ohtani jersey. Every single
Except Bill
person.
Murray.
Yes,
Except Bill
yeah,
Murray.
yep,
Bill
yep, yeah,
Murray.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Big Cubs guy, Bill Murray. But other than that, I mean, Shohei hitting the home run, even though it was controversial, it didn't matter. The entire stadium was cheering for them. It didn't matter if you were a Cubs fan, a Dodgers fan. I mean, there weren't Cubs fans there. There might have been a few,
Bill
other than Bill
Murray.
Murray, yeah. There might have been a few, but I missed you scanning over the crowd.
But to be honest, if you're a Cubs fan, why travel for that team? Like that team is not worth traveling for. Like I'm sorry. You have to be an absolute diehard with a ton of disposable income, which I feel like Bill Murray is maybe the only Cubs fan that falls into that category. Um, no, I mean there's plenty of wealthy Cubs fans out there.
We're roasting
Just
Cubs fans.
but
I
but
said slight remorse, and then we started
the
digging in on
the
them.
one thing I think I haven't seen too much chatter from the local Chicago media on this, but I do think they have a case to say to the MLB like you kind of the schedule to start the season is an absolute gauntlet. So not only I didn't realize this until this week, but they didn't come to Chicago after playing in Tokyo. They went back to spring training where they
So
finished out a
weird.
couple of games. So strange. I mean, I guess Phoenix is on the way to Chicago from Japan, but like that, it seems like they should make the jump from the like regular season to regular season, and it seems weird that they had this extra spring training week in between, where I thought they could have designed it better. I don't know. Cubs might start slow this year. If you're the team, if you're a betting person, I don't know. Check out those lines against the Cubs. I might sprinkle a few dollars on there to start the season because I don't know. The that's a heck of a gauntlet to go fly to Japan, stay there for I think like 5 days, go back to Phoenix, then back to Chicago. I mean, that's a lot of traveling right at the beginning.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is really goofy how they play two regular season games and then they got thrown back into spring training. They lost, by the way.
Oh, I would. That's not surprising. That
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think it was the Padres they played. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on
yeah.
that, but I think they got thrown right back in against the Padres and
Wow.
immediately lost right back in spring training. So yeah, granted, is it going to affect their season outlook? It could, but
Ooh,
we
let's
did see
see.
teams like the Mets last year lose their first, I want to say 5 games. It might have been six, and then
It's
go
longer.
ahead to do what they did. Um, yeah. So is it going to be that devastating that the Cubs lost their first 2 games of the year? From an objective standpoint, hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I can see where, like, immediately starting off the season, you're hyped in Japan. Sorare has released manga cards of all of your players, even the Cubs players too. And just like that, the season's or the season. No, that's the point. The season's not over. The series is over,
Yeah.
and y'all got swept pretty badly. So yeah, it might suck right now. I don't think it's going to affect their entire season as a whole. But hey, if they miss the playoffs by a game or two, and you look back at the series and you're like, dang, we missed out on 2 home games because we were playing in Japan, I'd be incensed. I'd be a little
Yeah.
bit
The
incensed.
Wrigley bars have a case against the MLB for this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do some journalisming and to see if there's been any rumblings of this because the around the Cubs stadium again we talked about this during our Cubs preview. If you're going to a Cubs game, go hang out in the neighborhood before. I do say though that because the bars the economy around the stadium does revolve around game day. They've done a bit to make it relevant to go there outside of the baseball season. But I will say, like, 2 games is probably, shaving off maybe 3% of revenue for some of these bars, which, like that's not a rounding error. That's a good chunk of change. So maybe they told them this with the promise of some postseason. So maybe we'll have to watch the refs. See if they throw some games the Cubs away. Maybe that's the way MLB is going to make it up to them. But yeah, I think if you're the Cubs and you're any team, I mean, as a Brewers fan, looking ahead to the Dodgers as a potential playoff yeah, matchup, man, I'm already scared. I'm scared, and the season has like just begun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're a force to be reckoned with. You could argue that, in fact, you don't even have to argue that Yoshi and Sasaki both did not have their best outings, and it didn't matter.
Nope.
Shota had a pretty good outing, and your favorite manager in the entire world decided to pull him immediately. Ben Brown comes in, gives up a couple runs. Dodgers don't look
Yeah.
back. Uh, so yeah, I would love to know what the community thinks. What do you guys think about the series? And Dodgers look good. How is it going to affect the Cubs? Let us know. Let us know for
Yeah.
sure. But one thing I did enjoy a little bit, even though I didn't win Jack, shoot, got to keep the E logo, you know. I We got close. One of these past weeks, we let a BS slip. I think it was you. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was you.
I was gonna say if I haven't sworn up to this point, then you can't be the first one to do it.
Um, but I was playing some Sorare MLB because that's right, the common competitions were so back. I did not do well. I had my pitchers play well, but that was about it. Everyone else kind of sucked. I don't have Otani on my team. They didn't. I opened up my pack. They didn't give me Otani. So maybe
Mm,
they didn't give anyone Otani. Maybe you gotta work up to it. But I I went with Yoshi and I went with Freddie, who didn't end up playing. So that kind of screwed me over a little bit. Teoscar had a solid series. I'm trying to think about who else I had in my team. Blake Trinan for the Dodgers, great relief pitcher. Definitely would check him out for sure on Sorare MLB. And a couple other players that obviously they didn't win me any rewards or anything like that. But that's okay. That's not what we're here to talk about. That was just a nice little warm up for the season. And speaking of warm up for the season, the main reason why I didn't want to tell you anything
yeah,
about
it's shrouded in secrecy.
this Sorare MLB experience that we're about to go through is because I want to hear your reaction to, first and foremost, I bought a couple of cards.
I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So we're so back. I had some money stocked up from winning in soccer and in basketball from selling a few
Nice.
cards and winning a couple of competitions. And I hadn't deposited it at all. So it was just sitting in there, and I'm like, all right, you know what?
Very
Let's
dangerous.
peep the Sorare MLB market. And right now, you also get a little bit of essence, a little bit of energy too from buying cards, and a small chance that you win an extra card. I did not, but I did buy three total cards so
Okay.
far, and I have the intent to buy one more because then if I have four cards, you can play four limited cards and three common cards in All Star. So I will have a full team without energy, without needing energy because they're in season cards for All Star. And yeah, so that has me pretty excited. And it's not as much money as I thought as I was gonna have to put into this team so far. Granted, I'm still waiting on my last player, and I don't have that Otani or Judge, that true X factor. But we've also talked about how in Solar MLB that doesn't matter as much as it does in, for example, Solar NBA. Like a Luca in So Rare NBA is going to be a much more valuable player to play every week in your team consistently than like an Aaron Judge, for example.
Yep.
Um, but that's just because how the game works. So I have gone ahead and bought myself three cards, and
Okay.
I want you to rate my buys so far.
Okay. Okay.
So
I like
first
this.
and foremost, I have a outfielder, a corner infielder, and a relief pitcher. Would definitely
Okay.
recommend if you are looking to build a team like I am, getting a relief pitcher, a good one, but they're going to
Hmm.
be on the cheaper side. And if you need four total cards to make that team happen, having a cheaper one makes it easier.
Right.
um,
No, you're right. Like the best pitchers and the best starting pitchers and the best relievers cost less than the best outfield players. Simply
exactly.
because everyone loves that offense. Like Acuna and Otani, um, even Cody Bellinger, he's looking
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
Those guys like that are going to cost you a pretty penny, but guy maybe like David Bednar, is it an NL Central closer?
Hey,
A guy like him, maybe won't sell for as much comparatively. So yeah, if you are on a budget, I think Jacob's right. Targeting those budget positions because you don't have to have all for All-Star. Yeah, you don't have to have that full limited lineup. So if you do want to stretch your budget, invest or target positions that are cheaper than average, and then for your quote unquote free plays fill those in with a Freddie Freeman or an Otani, so you don't actually have to go out and buy those players.
yeah. So you're close. It's not
Ooh.
David Bednar, but it is Trevor McGill. So you almost
Oh,
nailed it.
nice.
Spot on.
Okay.
Spot on.
Okay.
But he cost me $5. And with Devin Williams gone and Craig Yoho not starting in the major leagues, yet to remain to be seen if Nash's prediction is going to come to fruition and have Craig Yoho be the closer by the end of July. But he's not. And McGill should be.
Hmm.
Should be the closer for the Brewers starting opening day. And he cost me $5. I think that's a pretty good
Oh,
purchase. The
yeah.
Brewers last year were, I mean, a lot of their games they play are close games. They have a good offense, but they're not putting up 12 runs a game. They're not the Dodgers. No one's the
Hmm.
Dodgers. They're not the Yankees either. And a lot of their pitching or a lot of their winning relies on their pitching. And a lot of their
Yep.
pitching relies on their bullpen. So I'm going with Miguel there. How do you feel about that? For my first ever purchase was Miguel. Wasn't the other two cards that I have. It was Miguel.
Oh, okay. What
Had to be
mint
a Brewer.
number? What mint number did you get?
He is 28. Oh, he's 28
Oh,
out of 1,000, and his jersey number is 29.
that's what I was gonna ask. I was like, did you get the jersey too?
No.
Oh
So
man.
close. I wasn't even
Oh,
thinking. Wasn't even
yeah, yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about that.
No, they do drop the jerseys. I feel like in a more dramatic way. So I feel like you would have known. But yeah, I mean for that price point, I mean we've looked at the prize pools. I think if obviously I'll use since Josh is not here. It depends on how much you paid for the other players, but I think that's a great start to building a competitive team and yeah, I think last year Devin Williams was a great value from a Sorare MLB perspective. Year before that, Josh Hader for the Brewers was also in a similar position. So I think expecting you know, someone assuming that job this year, I think, we'll have success. And McGill has proved it last year. He was the setup man for a good portion of the year. And yeah, and now that he's the closer, that save is super valuable for Sorare. So, we always say on the batting practice, if you're for that relief position, we do generally like the closers and favor that, especially now that they've added that bonus for relief appearances that helps to balance out those starting pitcher relief pitcher duos.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's my first player that I got,
Nice.
Trevor McGill. And it looks like, I mean, prices will fluctuate a lot at the beginning of the season, but it looks like his most recent sale was for off of auction was for 650. So hey, did I save a buck? Maybe. It's okay because it looked like I lost out on about $1 right now because of the way the prices are going for this next player here. But bit of a
Oh,
deeper dig here, but a younger-ish player. He's 27 years old, and I believe he's a lefty. Definitely a lefty batter though, in Matt Walner for the
mm,
Twinkies, for the Twins.
yes.
And if I had to ask you over under home runs that Matt Walner has hit just in spring training, would you have been like, oh, he's probably hit a few? He's probably hit a decent amount. Well, guess what? He's actually hit 6 home runs this spring training
Oh,
as Matt Walner. 6.
that's
Yeah. In less than a month. I mean, how many games? Probably 20 or so?
yep.
Yeah. So if we multiply that out through a season,
That's
granted, it's spring training. Sure, let's not do this, but let's do it.
yeah.
6 times 8. Oh, shoot. All of a sudden, he's got a 48 home run
It's
season,
an
does Matt
all-star
Walner?
game.
Wait a
That's
minute.
an all-star.
Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Sure, that's probably not going to translate to the regular season exactly, but I don't think that it, or I do think that it is going to a little bit. And I could see him putting up very easily for the Twins a 30 home run season. And I kind of hope he does. Obviously, that's why I bought his So Rare card. And I think it's a solid purchase at $9. Currently
Okay.
selling for about 7 to 8.
Okay.
But if his season can turn out the way that I'm hoping, that should be a pretty cheap price point here. And yeah, so Matt Walner, how about that? Any specific thoughts on him? I'm a big fan of his.
It's funny. I pulled up his baseball reference, and on the Google search, one of the top news articles that was suggested, Matt Walner, breakout candidate for the Twins this year. So, at least some people are agreeing with you. Looking at his stats from last year, that 48 homer mark would be more than 3 times what he's put up in a normal season. And right now,
It's
he's
yeah.
projected to hit. To hit 16 home runs on the season. So, I mean, if he keeps the spring training up, that would be great. The one concern I have with his spring training sets, again, we don't want to, jump to too many conclusions. His strikeout rate is pretty high and his batting average is pretty low. So he's got
Big
that boomer
strikeout guy.
bust potential.
Hmm.
Um, but when I was thinking about last year, uh, buying sort of players, I targeted guys that had that home run potential, and I think Walner could be that guy that fits the power candidate. And Target Field is a hitter's park, so if he can find that power, yeah, I don't think there's any reason why he couldn't set his record for home runs, considering it's only 14, which I think he could easily beat that.
He's projected to hit 16.
Yes, by
I have
baseball,
a
according to
I
Baseball
have a
Reference.
crazy prediction for you.
All right.
I bet he hits if he stays healthy. I bet he
Yep.
hits 30. I bet he hits 30.
Oh, oh,
I'm
can
not only going over, but I'm going way over. I will put money down. That's like a season-long bet that seems so easy.
well, we
So
got our
easy.
superlatives
16?
coming up, so
$16?
keep that close to your sleeve. That's I would if he does that, I think you win the breakout candidate category for that.
Fair, fair, fair.
That's,
Yeah, you might see his name next week then. You might see his name again next week. Um, and for the last player then that I've gone ahead and bought is a player near and dear to my heart. I own a lot of his regular baseball
mm,
cards, his IRL baseball cards. He started off on the White Sox. I got to see him play um,
uh,
in AAA too,
uh,
and it's none other than Jake Berger, who is now
oh,
on your Texas Rangers. Another player who I am going to put money down, and his projections should be much higher than Walner's. But I bet Berger's also hitting 30 this year. 30 Berger bombs for the main man down in Texas now. Yeah. And another player who I bought for $9 and his most recent sale on auction 12, 15. Okay. People are
wow.
hyping up the man Jake Berger. And so am I. Um, Last year I believe he was just short of 30 home runs. He had, hold on. I should have had this up.
I
This is
I
very
had no,
frustrating.
I had a silver card last
29.
year.
29.
He
Yes,
hit
he was just
29.
short of
Yeah.
30 home runs. But I think he's setting his major league record for home runs, just like Matt Walner is going to this year. And that's why I went ahead and bought him. So there you go. Overall, I guess anything real quick about Jake Berger.
I had him last year. I didn't he just didn't gel with what I needed. Um, and it's kind of we've played fantasy baseball in the past. Like I think he might be on my no draft list to be honest. So I hope he works out for
Huh.
you. Maybe the fact it's that I was his manager that he just did not perform. Maybe we just didn't get along. Personality clash, who knows? But maybe under your tutelage, maybe he will have that breakout season.
Trying to see if I have
But
any
he's on my no
Jake
draft
Berger
list.
cards
I
sitting
got
right next
I
to me
got
at the moment.
burned. I got
Probably
burned by
not.
Mr. Burger.
That's that's not cool. He's one of my guys. He's one of my
I
favorite
I
players.
I wanted to like him. Jacob, if you roll back the tape, I said I praised that man at this time last season, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out.
Here
So
we
I
go.
hope I
I
hope it
found it.
works out for you this season.
I found it. So not only, uh-oh, I dropped it. I found it and I dropped it. But here we are. It is a Jake Berger autographed and game used jersey card that says, do you see what that says? Or is it reversed?
It says Burgatron.
Burgatron. One of the
That's
weirdest cards ever invented. Don't tell me you wouldn't buy a so rare card that said Burgatron instantly.
that's an instant buy. Yeah.
Instant buy. So that's why I had to buy that. But it also the way he signs cards looks like he writes the burger, which is pretty great too.
Yeah. It's good.
Um,
That's pretty sick.
but there you go. So I am gonna hope out that he or I'm gonna hope that he turns out for me unlike your non-draft list. I can't believe
Yep.
it. He's one of
Do
my
not
guys. So
draft.
all
Do
right.
not draft.
So I guess that's of the three I was gonna ask who's
I'm
your lowest rated
I
pick, but I guess it's gotta be that.
it
Unfortunately
might be
for
a
the
little
Burgatron.
superlatives preview. I might put him on my bust list
Whoa,
this
you
year.
can't put someone on your
I
bus list
I
that's played
might.
only on the Marlins and the White Sox in his
I
career.
might. I don't
He's
know.
only
I
ever
might.
played on the Marlins and the White Sox.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
No,
Maybe it's he brings that negative energy. I don't know. I don't
no,
know.
he doesn't. He hits home runs. He hits home runs for his daughter, the Burgatron.
He named his daughter Burger?
No, his daughter,
I'm just teasing.
his daughter went through a treatment,
Okay.
infantile treatment, and then
All
the
right.
next
I
day
like
he hit a home run for her. It was pretty cool. His daughter's name's Penelope, I'm pretty
okay.
sure. I
There
don't
we go.
remember the entire story. It was very heartwarming. Jake Berger.
He's
Another reason to love the man.
he's a good dude.
Another
Good
reason to
dude.
love the man.
I I will everything I said was not at the man's character or, but I don't know. He just
Tell you what.
okay.
Heard it here first. If I win money on So Rare with Jake Berger's card, I will donate half of it to his nonprofit or his charity or whatever that supports his daughter and the research that supports his daughter. You heard it here first.
Okay. And I will match it if he hits more than 30 home runs this season.
Okay, okay. All right. All right. And we haven't even gotten into superlatives yet. All
There
right.
we go. See, we're just
Might be a
we're
preview for next week.
souping it up. Yep.
hmm Well, there you have it. A little bit of So Rare talk for you guys. And we're excited to bring you some more, of course. And if you're sitting here and you're still listening and you're like, what the hell are these guys talking about? Well, don't worry. Go check out our affiliate link in our description below here. And that'll link you right to the sign up page for Sorare MLB. And if you use this link, you'll get 50 bucks in market credit. That's right. You could buy the cards that I have for free. For free? For free. And you could build a team just like I'm trying to
Love it.
build with that market credit using our affiliate sign up link in the description below. Check it out, so are MLB. We're excited. It's starting next week. The games are coming, and if your wallet needs a little bit of waiting, I guess maybe wait a few more weeks of prices to calm down. But if you're ready to start at the beginning of the season, now's the time to start building your team. So Yet
Okay.
again, make sure to use that link, batting practice podcast link in the description below. But before we end the podcast here, we're going to throw it back 2 weeks now to our rules episode.
Oh,
And I
okay.
did a little bit of extra research. We ended up debating those rules,
Yeah.
and it took enough time where it took up the whole length of the podcast. But I found a couple of extra rules that I'm not sure if they were proposed by fans or
Oh.
actually by the MLB or players or what. But these are three rules that I found that might
Mm.
be a little bit of a stretch, but are also plausible. And I want to get your reaction to them.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So, first rule
Okay.
sorry, a minimum innings pitch rule for pitchers. A starting pitcher must throw at least X innings, X being probably 4 or 5. How do we feel about this rule? Of course, injuries and certain circumstances like that, you got to take a guy out, you got to take a guy out. But if
Hmm.
he's perfectly healthy, he's given up 7 runs, you can't take him out. You got to leave him in. How do we feel
I
about
I
that?
I like it. The addition I would make is I would set a minimum pitch. It's like innings pitched or total pitches thrown.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if a guy just like has a terrible, 40 pitch first inning and a 30 pitch second inning, they can get pulled after two. So I agree with that. Baseball, it does a lot of these rule changes to try to speed up the game, and I do think one of the things that has slowed down, and for Brewers fans and I guess Cubs fans now, watching Craig Counsell make his surgical adjustments for every single pitcher and batter in the ends of the games, there's no way that doesn't extend the game. I mean, it does. So if you added rules that says, hey, if a guy comes in, he's got to pitch this many, or if instead of doing that bullpen or the pitching by committee approach that so many teams take, if they have to have their starter go 5 innings, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. See, I see a lot of counterpoints to this one being like, well, dude's just gonna mess up his arm. Like, what are you doing? You can't force a pitcher to pitch more pitches than he wants to. But also, yeah, I mean, I do kind of like it as well. Like,
Yeah,
if your
pitch
guy's
count.
getting shelled, but you got to keep him in, I don't know, maybe you'll figure something out. But yeah, a pitch count
Maybe
adjustment
that
too
saves them.
makes sense.
Maybe that
Yeah,
saves them.
saves him a little bit. So,
I like it.
yeah, okay, okay. All right. Rule change number two.
Okay.
The golden at bat rule,
Mm,
meaning at any point in the game, no matter if you're winning or losing, obviously you have to be at bat. But no matter who's at bat, who's on deck, who's on the bench, you can
hmm
put in any batter to hit. So, for
mm,
example, if you have bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, you're down by 3, and you need that grand slam to win the game, but Shohei just struck out, well, don't worry. You can give him a second at bat using the
mm.
golden at bat rule. Don't have Shohei on your team? Okay, well, no problem. You can put in your best hitter to try and hit that grand slam, even if
Okay.
they were sitting on the bench or if they were due up sixth in the inning. The golden at bat rule. How about that?
I don't know about this one as much. I'm thinking through, what if the guy's on base already? How does that work? The one thing I do think, comparison would be in basketball, where if a team does get a technical, they can send up anyone to go shoot that free throw, even if the player was not involved in that play. So maybe, I don't know if I would support like the golden baseball, but let's say something egregious happens, like a baseball equivalent of a technical foul. Maybe having this as a threat that the umpire can give if a manager gets in their face. That would be kind of crazy to see, actually.
Okay,
So
okay,
I
okay.
like the concept, but instead of it being just a use per game, I think it should be like earned as a punishment, similar to a technical foul in basketball.
Okay. Your rule changes are better than the ones that people have proposed. People
Okay.
need to come to you with these rule changes and then you
Yeah,
can
we'll
mend
work.
them.
We'll
Yeah,
we'll word shop them.
yeah. All right. Well, last rule change here. I think this one is
Okay.
my favorite and by far
Okay.
the least plausible. But the home run trot rule,
Oh,
giving the
okay.
players a limited amount of seconds to
Mm.
trot the bases after hitting a home run. And if they don't reach home plate by that allotted amount of time, then they are called out. How about that?
Boo. Nope. Don't like that. I'm gonna take it complete 180. I think you should be allowed to do anything in your home run celebration. I think
Yes.
let's forget don't wait until you get into the dugout to start using props. I want the bat boy to bring out like a piñata or whatever they want right as he's running to first base. Why wait until he's ran around all the bases to start that party? Let's get it going around the whole bases. I don't know. I think they actually should take longer to celebrate home runs. And I think as long as they're willing to put more effort into the celebration.
I like it. Junior Caminero would be agreeing with your answer here.
Yeah,
But I like it. I like it. I agree. This one was like it was at the
that's a
bottom.
good
There
idea
was a
though.
whole bunch of rules and a lot of them are really stupid. This one was towards the bottom. I was like, I got to include one stupid one, but I think it's hilarious in
Yeah.
the fact that the umps would like as soon as the ball clears the fence, they like start a timer on their watch or something and they're watching the guy go around the bases and then imagine even further like the manager challenging that the player didn't round the
Oh.
bases in the certain amount of time that was given. Like and they're gonna come down to like a side by side view of the clock versus a batter
Mm,
running and rounding third base. Oh, yeah, okay, that would be a lot. It would be
it would.
craziness. Yeah, there would be a lot involved with that one. I do like the idea, and technically it's an unwritten rule because the pitcher will get upset because the pitcher's probably a little baby if
Yep.
you take forever to round the bases, but I don't know. You hit home run, show off, do your thing. It's like if
Yeah.
you score a touchdown in the NFL, they can celebrate. They do what they want. And I kind of like that the NFL kind of took away not the taunting penalty, but
Yeah.
they let players celebrate more than they used to, even just a few years ago.
Hmm.
So seeing that in baseball would be, yeah, I'm not against it.
I
I'm not
mean,
against it.
the pitchers are getting paid millions of dollars. Who cares if their feelings are hurt? They're probably not even that hurt. They're just mad that they gave up a home run. They're not mad at that player. And I guess, yeah, the extended celebration just reminds them of the fact that they gave up a home run, but that's baseball. Hey, you know what? Pitchers, I'll hear you out. If you throw a strikeout, a really clutch strikeout, you know what? You can have your own celebration. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll even it out. Let's let pitchers celebrate too. If they want to have a really sick celebration after they throw if someone on the Brewers strikes out Ohtani and they just want to like, eat a pile of cheese or something like that, I don't know. They should be allowed to do it. So I'm if I were to make this change, I think we gotta even it out for batters and pitchers, so that way no one is mad.
A pile of cheese.
Yeah,
Corbin Burns strikes out his first batter for the Diamondbacks and goes into the dugout. He's like, I miss Wisconsin. I'm gonna eat a plate of cheese.
yeah. Maybe like a Cubs player just makes a Chicago dog and just like
Yeah.
runs around the
Slams
bases
it.
with the Chicago dog, or
Yeah.
or
Fans would love it.
better yet, we give one of those like hot dog like cannons to one of the players. They shoot up hot dogs into the crowd as they're running the bases. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like let's do stuff like this. Come on, let's make
Yeah.
baseball fun.
I like it. I like it. Let's make it happen. New rules, Rob Manfred.
Yeah,
Contact him.
yeah.
Contact him like it's your local politician and you're trying to get a policy changed because
There we go.
watching a player shoot off hot dogs into the
That'd be
crowd after
so
hitting. Oh
sick.
yeah.
That'd
Oh
be
yeah.
so sick.
Well, now
Wait,
that's like some
imagine.
Savannah bananas on steroids.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think the MLB. I'll have this take. I think the MLB should embrace the Savannah Bananas
Yeah.
mentality. I think they should add them as an expansion team. Honestly, I think Bananas playing against themselves is great. Let's add them as the first expansion team.
There you go.
Uh, and they don't have to move to Montreal. They don't have to move to Mexico City. They can stay right where they are. In
Yeah.
fact, maybe they don't actually have a home stadium. Maybe they only travel on the road. Maybe that's their thing.
Yeah, and then maybe their ticket prices will finally go down so I can go to a game and they don't sell
It's,
out 60,000 player or people stadiums.
yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, we've beat around the bush enough. Before we end the podcast, let's send a pickle real quick
There we go.
because it's that time. It's that time of the episode. And hold on,
We need
I'm used
Nosh.
to
I'm
not
kind of
sharing
nervous.
this, so I
Oh,
gotta
Nosh.
share my screen like this. Bang. Nope. Bang. All right.
Josh does make it look very easy. Shout out to
He
Josh.
does. He's like a producer in his own right.
He is. He is our
But
producer.
we mentioned a lot of. Oh, I think we have to guess Jake Burger though.
I was gonna say it's gonna be okay. AL West. USA. Oh,
Ooh, a
30.
righty third baseman from the U.S.
Okay.
who's almost 28.
It's Max Muncy?
Muncie's a lefty.
Oh, lefty, yeah. Max Muncy.
Um,
Okay, well, we
yeah,
got NL West, we got AL East. We could try to just get the team or the
AL
conference
Central.
down.
Yeah,
Or yeah, Central.
the division. Yeah. Let's go with. It's not the West. Okay. How about Rocchio?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Let's just
He's from Venezuela. I didn't realize that.
there we go.
How about Royce Lewis? He's 25. Let's send it.
All right,
Let's
but
send it.
let's at least get okay.
Okay, so
So
it's
it's
the AL
AL
East.
East.
AL
Yep.
East. And it's a third baseman
Vladdy?
righty from he's not from the USA.
Oh. Okay,
um
well, it's not Vladdy.
Mountcastle?
Yeah.
He's
No.
listed as a first baseman. He obviously he's a third baseman. Or a first baseman, sorry.
Yeah,
Um
I like the Orioles.
28-year-old. Jordan Westberg's not 28. Jordan Westberg's young. Oh, he's wait. That might work. That might work.
Jordan Westberg. I
Wow.
Dang. Wow.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Pickle in
Nailed it.
three. Nice. Nice. We don't need Nosh. We don't need Nosh
Oh,
for the pickle. I mean, did we guess all of the categories right besides three on the first guess? Sure. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good
yeah.
pickle there.
I don't think we've gotten the position right in like I don't even know.
Yeah, on the first guess ever.
On the first guess, yeah, one of the few. Now he's got the perfect pickle.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well,
Jordan
shout out
Westberg.
to you for saying the Orioles because that was a good shout. A good shout. Well, there you have it. That is episode 7.5, I guess you could say here, maybe of batting practice. But again, as always, thank you here for joining us on the latest episode. And let me stop this share real quick.
Josh makes it look so easy. It's
I
so crisp.
know.
I
How do
know.
you
Shout
even
out to
do it?
Nashi. He's probably got some keyboard shortcuts. He's kind of he's like our nonchalant guy, you know?
There
He's
we
just
go.
chill. He's a chill guy.
All right. He really is. It's not letting me. There. Did that work?
No.
Are we unshared?
Nope.
Stop. There we
Oh,
go. We're back. We can
Josh, we
breathe.
miss you.
Maybe I'll just edit that out and we can cut into the outro right now.
No. No, because we got Josh, we miss you.
All right. That's true. We
Yeah.
do. And comment Nosh with your personal YouTube account. Comment right now. Comment it's 6:53 Eastern time. Comment 6:53 in the
Mm,
comment section, Nosh, just to make sure you let Andrew and I know that you listened to the episode. So,
absolutely.
thank you all for listening, of course, today. Again, make sure to use that So Rare affiliate description code in the description here for getting $50 in market credit towards So Rare MLB. Would definitely check out other YouTube shorts going on that we have going on the channel. Follow us on Instagram. Ooh, next week, Soar MLB starts. I would keep
Well,
an eye out for a giveaway. I would keep an eye out for a giveaway.
on
Just saying.
Instagram?
On the Instagram. We need
Oh
some
yeah.
more Instagram followers. So
Yeah,
follow us
I'm
on Instagram.
that other platform that's towards the end of the alphabet. I'm not as
Yeah.
not a fan of. Not a
Yeah.
fan of.
Yeah. But not that Instagram's CEO is much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
This is why
Yeah,
we
they're
talk
all.
about this at the end of the episode. But
Hey,
again,
that's why we got
yeah,
So Rare. So Rare, the
exactly.
official nonpartisan platform, although just don't ask.
Nicola Julia for president. You heard it
That's
here
right.
first.
There we go.
All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Um, and without further ado, you've just attended batting practice, and now it's time to get in the game. Peace.
Peace.